YouTube channel. Here is my second topic of my Appium series where I will talk about Appium introduction. In first series, I already described about the what things I will cover in the Appium series. So if you have not watched, please look into that. In this series, I have covered lot. I will cover lot of topics, all mobile platforms like Android and iOS. So in this session, I will cover APM introduction and will cover some basic tutorial other tools will compare with the APM. So Espresso, XY Test, Robotium, Flutter, Xamarin are other tools available in the market. Likewise, supporting for mobile auto application testing. Here's some basic tools and their features and their supported platforms like Catalan and Appium, Espresso, Exitest, Robotium. So Catalan and Appium, as you can see, both support Android and iOS. And Espresso, Exitest, and Robotium, they are supported only with respect like Android and iOS platform. And if I talk about the Catalan, so they have free and paid version, but APM is an open source tool, so no need to pay anything on that. And Catalan and other tools are supported mainly Java or one or two languages. But if you talk about the IPM, that is support multiple languages like Java, JavaScript, Python, C Sharp. So you can explore with the APM, and there is no need to paid anything on that. And that support, if you have experience on the Selenium side, then you can easily understand the APM architecture, APM working process, and other things, many important things. So other tools like Robotium or Espresso, Exitest, they are have some record and play feature, but in APM there is no such feature is there. Before it was there, but now they have removed it. In our second slide, I will explain about why like some add-ons feature about the APM. So as everyone knows, it's an open source platform, automation platform where it will support Android and iOS platform. And it support multiple languages like Ruby, Python, PHP, JavaScript, as I earlier mentioned. And it is easy to adopt who is already experienced in Selenium. And there is no need to like learn different set of languages, but you can, if you have any one particular language, you can explore in that. And documentation also available, so you can explore. And you can use any kind of framework like BDD, TDD, TestNG, page object model, later event. So with any language, it support all the framework integration also. So more about the Espresso here. So developed by the Google, especially for the Android unit testing and UI testing. So for that you have to know a little bit about the Android Studio setup and development environment. And internally with the same environment where developer is using, and you have to work on that. So internally they are using API to make the maintenance easier. There's no other uh, um, like environment you have to set for espresso testing. So this is something about the espresso. And likewise XUI test also developed, like it is similar to espresso but developed by the Apple for the iOS application, and that is inbuilt uh, tools developed by Apple integrated with the Xcode. So you have to do work with a developer environment while you are developing application or developer using developing the application. They have used to like create the UI test folder also where you can write the script. So you have to do work on the same environment, and iOS application is supporting only that XUI test supporting only two languages, Java, Swift or Objective-C. Yeah, so like integration with the CI/CD or any pipeline, it is similar to Xcode support. Robotium is another tools which support Android for automating mobile application. Okay, so it is again have support Java, and you can use any kind of like IDE to develop that. You have to set the Android SDK and the JDK, and it is supporting different Gradle and Maven framework. And Flutter is another developed by Google to create the mobile application. You can test web application and a mobile application with the help of Flutter. So as you can see on the screen, 10% of the Google Play Store is tested nowadays with the Flutter. So it is another tool which is a high demand on the market. Easy to code, like alert and update on emulator, simulator, or real devices. So as you like expresses or inbuilt with the Android Studio, you can add the libraries in an Android Studio, and it will work on that. Similar to Flutter, if you're developing any Android application on Flutter or web application, you can easily add the libraries to explore UI testing of that application with the help of Flutter. Another is robot frameworks, was this keyword-driven or test automation frameworks capable of mobile testing and web and desktop application. So it's a wide range of testing type, and yeah, it's specifically test-driven development and robot process automation. So support across platform testing, advise range of standard and third-party libraries you can inbuild in that. And Xamarin UI Test, another tools to use to create and run UI uh, and iOS application and Android application on the devices. So it support another both under Android and iOS platform. You can set it with Visual Studio, Microsoft Visual Studio, or any other mm, IDE. Calabas also support Android and iOS platform. So these are the some similar tools in the market with similar to Appium. Early Grey, another developed by the Google, specifically testing iOS application. Now we'll talk about our focus should be on Appium side. So I will describe here the basic architecture, how Appium is working, and how it is similar to a similar approach where with Selenium. If you have some experience on that, how can you can explore the Appium also. So you can see the screen. It is working as a server, Appium server, where our script developed in the different languages with the help of libraries, and it will send that script to the server, and that server respected to the script. It will identify the devices, and send the instruction on the real devices. So internally, it's developed in the internally it is working JSON by a protocol, and you can see on W3C protocol standard. It's maintaining that. Yeah. So in our screen, you can see there is a APM server, client libraries, and our device. Okay. So it's required basically APM server to start and send the instruction to the like first get the instruction from our code, and send the same instruction to the related device, and the APM server can start it and control you. So to start the Appium server, there are different types, like through terminal you can do that to start the terminal or to start the server, or you can programmatically also set it the Appium server to start and on a specific port, and manually also you can start, or through Appium GUI tools you can start the Appium server with a set of design capabilities. So that APM server respectively started for Android and iOS. So once the server is started, you can, based on your script, it will identify on which platform your script should be executed. And in between that, WebDriver client libraries we have to add, and APM support multiple web client libraries. So if you are using Java, then you have to add Java APM libraries, Python APM libraries, and multiple set of devices you can run, like, and emulator simulator also you can set it for execution. And there is a different set of drivers you have to choose, like UI Automator or XUI test driver or XUI test, which is responsible for iOS, and UI Automator is responsible for Android. Yeah, so some more advantage, like more feature about the APM. So as you know all about that, APM is support cross platforms, native and hybrid and mobile web application, wide range of languages support, open source, and active community, so that you can explore more with the help of there are number of communities who is working on the APM to contribute their knowledge, and integration with a different framework. So JUnit, TestNG, Maven, and Mocha Jasmine, you can it is allowing to integrate with that. Real and virtual devices, it is easy to set it, and also cloud device setup is also easy with that. Yep, and apart from that, integration with CI/CD and Jenkins or Azure, you can easily set it. So yeah, there is some, apart from the benefits of positive prawn, there should be some cons. So it has some limitations like slow execution on the emulator and simulator, and I like setup is little bit complicated for iOS as compared to Android. And Locator's strategy, like there is a set of um, different set of strategy for Android and for iOS respectively. And feature for Android and iOS is little bit different. Like some feature is supported in the Android is not supported for the iOS, and some features sometimes it's a slow execution on the iOS side or Android side. So there is some pros and cons related to the APM. So these all things will cover in our next session.